Larry Buchanan said, "I fell victim to skyrocketing printing costs, declining sales, and layoffs. I was short-staffed and forced to cut back." Now, these challenges were just temporary setbacks, however, and Larry returned to working in the news media, lucky for us, at Indiana University. He'll be graduating from IU this May, along with many of you from across the state of Indiana, with a degree in journalism and fine arts. And Larry Buchanan is the Brooke Baker Indiana Collegiate Journalist of the Year for 2011. I will tell you, we have some wonderful folks that nominated Larry and wrote some supporting material for him. And in reviewing that material for his nomination, New York Times staff editor J.D. Verstappen said of Larry, "Visual journalism has a unique capacity for storytelling all its own, and one that can illuminate a topic in ways mere text cannot approach. After admiring the already considerable portfolio of Larry Buchanan, it's clear he knows how to harness that delightful fusion of words and images into a powerful force that clearly conveys necessary information in whatever medium he's using at the time, newspapers, magazines, websites, and more." One thing I'll tell you about Larry, because it's fun to embarrass him, is he was the 2010 Student Society for News Design Designer of the Year. And part of that was that he designed everything that could be designed. And it was magazines and newspapers and websites. He's designed for the Canvas Literary Magazine here. I don't think there's a job that he has not done. And like Brooke Baker, he shares that drive and that dedication and that enthusiasm for journalism. I could not be prouder of him and all that he's accomplished here. I will now invite Mike Mullen to come up and tell you a little bit about Brooke and present this to Larry. Mike.
Thank you, Ruth. Brooke Baker was the campus editor of the Vince University Trailblazer in the mid-90s, and it was always very strange. I always remember things very well. I can't remember what I had eaten for lunch yesterday, but I can remember that on September 7th I wasn't feeling that well and went to bed early. And that's because when I got up the next morning, there were a number of phone messages that weren't there the night before. And one after another, it was a call from staff members saying, "I don't know if you've heard the news, but you need to call the police." And so when I finally got a hold of the police, I found out that Brooke had been murdered. She was somebody that was active in every part of the paper. So I always figure if any group can imagine what it would be like walking into that newsroom on Monday morning and having to put a paper out, it'd be this group here. In looking over the material about Larry, a couple of things struck me, a few things that I think he had in common with Brooke. One of them was something that Ruth just mentioned, was his ambition to know and do it all. I think Brooke had that too. Secondly, Larry's optimism for the future. I think that's something that Brooke also had. And thirdly, Larry's generosity. And I think Brooke had that too. She was not only relished her success, but she also relished the success of others. So Larry, we're pleased to present you to the ICPA Collegiate Journalist of the Year.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm not really much of a speech guy, and I'm not really feeling that good. So thanks for my parents and my girlfriend for coming, and thanks for Ruth and the whole ICPA board for putting this together. Truth be told, I love these award ceremonies, but I would rather be in the newsroom working on something now, as most of all of you would probably be also there too. So, you know, fight on, journalism, move on.